Welcome to Sukima English News. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Mark.
Today we're looking at a possible MacBook shortage, a surprise Idol concert, and stunning cherry blossoms.
Sounds like a busy show.
Our first story today comes from the tech world, and it's about Apple. Their new, more affordable MacBook Neo is selling incredibly well. So well, in fact, they might be facing a supply shortage.
Selling too well? That's a good problem to have, I guess. What does this mean for buyers?
Apple is reportedly struggling to keep up with demand for the MacBook Neo. This model was launched to lower the barrier to entry for Apple's ecosystem. By offering a reasonably priced Mac, they aim to attract new users.
So it's an accessible option and it's hit the mark. Were there any specific sales predictions?
Not really. Apple doesn't release detailed sales data for individual models. They report by product category and quarterly earnings. We can infer popularity from market trends and past successes.
What are the current PC market trends?
The PC market peaked during the pandemic, but it's stabilized. There's steady demand from businesses and for creative work, plus growth in emerging markets. Apple products have strong brand loyalty, so they're in a good position.
And past successes?
Yes, think about the iPhone SE. Apple used a similar strategy and it was very successful. It showed they could maintain brand appeal while reaching a wider customer base. The MacBook Neo is likely following that same path.
So demand is exceeding forecasts. Any rumors about future models?
There's speculation the next model could come with 12 gigabytes of RAM. This suggests a desire to improve performance, possibly in response to high demand. But this is just speculation, not an official announcement.
A supply shortage means longer wait times, right? And potentially higher prices?
Exactly. Consumers might face delays or miss out. This could impact Apple's sales targets if they can't produce enough. It might also pressure their supply chain partners.
How might this affect people in Japan?
For consumers in Japan, it means similar waiting times and stockouts. If the shortage is prolonged, it could affect accessory availability. However, the success of an accessible model could encourage more people in Japan to consider a Mac.
So while there are challenges, it could be positive for Apple's market share growth in Japan. It's a classic case of supply and demand.
It is, and it highlights how an affordable product can generate massive consumer interest. We'll have to see how Apple manages this selling too well situation.
Definitely, it's a fascinating case study. Thanks for that report, Sarah.
My pleasure, Mark. Let's move on. Let's discuss a recent event in Japan's entertainment scene, specifically concerning the idol group乃木坂 46.
Oh? What happened?
They held a mini live concert, but it seems there was a deviation from the original plan.
A change of plans? What was the original intention?
The group recently added 11 new members from their 6th generation auditions, announced in early February.
So, a significant addition of new talent. That must generate excitement.
It does.乃木坂 46 has seen a substantial increase in live event attendance.
How substantial?
Their Summer National Tour 2024 inches drew 265,000 fans across 7 shows, exceeding last year's numbers.
That's a huge turnout. And they also had an underclassmen live event, correct?
Yes, in June, about 36,000 attended a show featuring only 4th and 5th generation members, their first such event.
Their popularity is clearly growing. What was the purpose of the mini live?
The mini live was likely intended to introduce the new members to fans and facilitate interaction, a common integration method.
That makes sense. It allows new members to gain visibility and fans to connect with them.
Exactly. This occurs within Japan's booming live entertainment market.
Can you elaborate on that market?
Certainly. In 2024, the live entertainment market reached 760.5 billion yen, a 10.9% increase year over year.
That's a notable rise, and it's a record high for 2 consecutive years, isn't it?
Correct. It's up 20.8% from pre-pandemic 2019 levels.
So, live events are recovering strongly and exceeding previous peaks. What's driving this?
Several factors contribute, including the rise of time consumption and oshikatsu, the passionate support for idols or celebrities.
Oshikatsu has become a major economic driver, hasn't it?
Indeed, the oshikatsu market is estimated at 3.5 1.5 trillion yen in 2024 and continues to grow.
That's substantial. Idol groups like Nogizaka 46 are significant contributors.
Absolutely. The domestic idol market alone is valued at 470.9 billion yen.
Oshikatsu seems quite resilient to economic downturns.
It is. It's a consumption pattern less affected by price increases and appeals broadly.
Social media likely plays a role in promoting this, I assume?
Definitely. The proliferation of social media and online content further fuels the Oshikatsu market's growth.
So Nogizaka 46 is leveraging this expanding market with new members and popular shows.
They are. The Mini Live, despite being a potential change of plans, serves as a vital connection point for fans and new artists.
It fosters connection and maintains momentum.
Right? Data indicates large-scale venues are also key market expansion drivers.
So while the Mini Live might seem small, it's part of a larger, thriving live entertainment ecosystem in Japan.
Precisely. It's about building relationships and engaging fans in an increasingly popular market.
It truly emphasizes the importance of fan connections in today's idol industry.
Indeed, and it shows how Japanese entertainment evolves with changing consumer behaviors. Let's shift gears to Mount Yoshino in Nara Prefecture, famous for its cherry blossoms. The news is they've reached full bloom, showcasing the iconic Hitome Senbon, 1,000 trees at a glance.
Ah, Mount Yoshino? That phrase sounds breathtaking. It's more than just a beautiful sight, isn't it?
Indeed, its origin dates back about 1,300 years, linked to Enno Gyoja, founder of Shugendo. He carved an image of Za Gongen onto a cherry tree, making it sacred.
So it started as a religious practice. How did it become this massive spectacle?
Over centuries, pilgrims and locals planted more trees. Now, about 30,000 cover the mountainside. Even Toyotomi Hideyoshi held a viewing party there.
Wow, 30,000 trees. But you mentioned challenges. What are they facing?
Climate change and pests, like the Asian longhorn beetle, are causing trees to decline. Conservation is a pressing issue.
That's sad. The nature creating the beauty is also threatening it. Are there other problems?
Yes, over-tourism. During the season, huge numbers of tourists cause traffic congestion and waste problems.
Over-tourism is a common challenge. How are they managing it at Mount Yoshino?
Local organizations are focusing on conservation, traffic management, and shifting towards year-round tourism.
Year-round tourism sounds smart. What's the current blooming status?
As of April 8th, lower and middle sections are past peak. Upper sections are scattering, and deeper sections are about 70% in bloom.
So it's staggered. People have about a month to enjoy it, depending on location. What about visitor numbers?
Annual tourists used to exceed 1 million, but recently it's around 700,000.
A significant drop. Was that due to the pandemic?
Yes, the pandemic greatly reduced numbers. While there's recovery, it hasn't returned to pre-pandemic levels.
Are most visitors day trippers?
Yes, both domestic and international tourists are mostly day visitors. This trend mirrors Nara Prefecture, which saw a 27.5% decrease in visitors in 2022 compared to 2019.
Attracting longer stays seems key. How much does conservation cost?
Protecting trees involves soil improvement, fertilization, and pest control. For the Asian longhorn beetle, treatments cost about 15,000 to 30,000 yen per tree.
That's an expense. Are they receiving donations?
Yes, Yoshino Town accepts donations for conservation. As of March 2026, the fund balance is over 6.2 million yen.
A good start, but it highlights the need for ongoing support. What's the economic impact?
It's substantial. A study estimated the economic impact of cherry blossom viewing in 2025 to be around 1.38 trillion yen.
1.3 trillion yen. Does that include just direct spending?
No, it includes direct effects like travel and food, plus ripple effects. Foreign tourist spending for viewing was estimated at 61 billion yen in 2018.
That shows how vital these blossoms are. You mentioned traffic and waste as over-tourism issues. What measures are in place?
They're implementing park and ride systems to reduce cars. There are also reservation systems for tour buses and visitor fees.
Practical steps. The challenge is balancing beauty and economic benefits with preservation and crowd management.
Exactly. It requires continuous effort from the community and visitors. The future of this iconic landscape depends on it.
It makes you appreciate not just the beauty but also the hard work to preserve them.
That's a great point. It truly is a testament to their enduring cultural and economic significance in Japan. Now let's look at some key vocabulary from today's stories. Our first phrase is supply shortage. This means there isn't enough of something to meet demand. For example, the factory reported a supply shortage of electronic components.
That's a common issue in manufacturing.
Moving on to our second story about乃木坂 46. A useful phrase is deviation from the original plan. This means a change or departure from what was initially intended. For example, the event saw a deviation from the original plan due to bad weather.
So, things didn't go exactly as planned.
Next, from the cherry blossom story, we have showcasing. This means displaying or exhibiting something in an attractive way. For example, the festival was a great opportunity for local artists to showcase their work.
It's about presenting something at its best.
Back to the Apple story. A key term is barrier to entry. This refers to obstacles that make it difficult for new companies or individuals to enter a particular market or activity. For example, high startup costs can be a significant barrier to entry for new businesses.
So, making it easier for people to start using something.
Another useful phrase from the乃木坂 46 story is substantial increase. This indicates a large or significant rise in numbers or amount. For example, there has been a substantial increase in online shopping over the past year.
It clearly shows their popularity is growing a lot.
And our last one from the cherry blossom story is pressing issue. This refers to a problem or matter that needs urgent attention or action. For example, climate change is a pressing issue that requires global cooperation.
Something that can't be ignored.
Apple's MacBook Neo is experiencing a supply shortage because demand has far exceeded what the company initially expected.
Let's try that one more time at normal speed.
Apple's MacBook Neo is experiencing a supply shortage because demand has far exceeded what the company initially expected. A deviation from the original plan led乃木坂 46 to hold a surprise mini live concert in place of the scheduled entrance ceremony.
Let's try that one more time at normal speed.
A deviation from the original plan led乃木坂 46 to hold a surprise mini live concert in place of the scheduled entrance ceremony. Mount Yoshino is showcasing its iconic Hitome Senbon with around 30,000 cherry trees covering the mountainside in full bloom.
Let's try that one more time at normal speed.
Mount Yoshino is showcasing its iconic Hitome Senbon with around 30,000 cherry trees covering the mountainside in full bloom. Apple launched the MacBook Neo to lower the barrier to entry for its ecosystem, making it accessible to a wider range of consumers.
Let's try that one more time at normal speed.
Apple launched the MacBook Neo to lower the barrier to entry for its ecosystem, making it accessible to a wider range of consumers. Japan's live entertainment market saw a substantial increase of 10.9% in 2024, reaching a record 760.5 billion yen for 2 consecutive years.
Let's try that one more time at normal speed.
Japan's live entertainment market saw a substantial increase of 10.9% in 2024, reaching a record 760.5 billion yen for 2 consecutive years. The spread of the Asian longhorn beetle is a pressing issue for Mount Yoshino, threatening the 30,000 cherry trees that define this iconic landscape.
Let's try that one more time at normal speed.
The spread of the Asian longhorn beetle is a pressing issue for Mount Yoshino, threatening the 30,000 cherry trees that define this iconic landscape. That's all for today's Sukima English news. Keep practicing your English every day. See you next time. Goodbye.